Huh? But why?
But why?
Look at this, 5 hours ago, quadruple XL. It's fresh, it's delicious. I'm sure it's gonna be great. So thank you to Ochanian, user Ochanian, for popping my Kevin cherry. The friendliest, happiest of all the Kevins out there. It is a long one. Plus the edit makes it even longer. 2 to 3 years ago, I started reading all these Reddit stories. Revenges, dramas, nice guys, entitled parents, anti-vaxxers, Karens, and Kevins. I notice a distinct lack of beard. I find your lack of beard disturbing. I thought myself to have the fortune, or perhaps misfortune, to be spared encounters of the latter two, but here is the one exception, in the place that I would have expected it the least. I'm now studying medicine abroad in Europe, in a former city of the Soviet Union with a good reputation. As an international study course with people from all around the world, although mostly Germans and Swedes, there was an open and including culture on campus. All this took place before COVID happened. Yeah, you guys remember the before times? I don't! However, our little study group was perhaps the dumpster for some of the students that didn't really fit anywhere else. This was due to our smaller than average group size. I made 2 close friends there, and we didn't really socialize much with the rest, but that did get better in later semesters. Oh, this is like Community. I think I've seen this show before. Most in our study group fit that weird but lovable trope, with maybe some creepiness. I don't even know which Reddit forum I would post the creepy guy. Neckbeards, nice guys, incel tier, take your pick. There was also some annoyance and friendliness, and even a bit of fun thrown in. The person that I'm about to speak about today is the most friendly, happiest person that you and I will probably ever meet. I'm gonna tell you right now, OP, I'm already on the defensive side of your subject. They're already just like sitting around enjoying themselves, and you want to poop on the potty. Ooh, just watch your step. That's all I'm saying. Now, university is not the place that you would expect a Kevina. Oh, it's a female Kevin is a Kevina. Okay, we're learning so much today. Especially not abroad in a country that she's never been to. She doesn't speak the language of and really has no connection to. But not only was she going to study medicine, she also started a month late. This didn't raise any red flags, as our group was still disjointed in the early days, and we did get some new faces in the preceding weeks, and maybe the admission process just took longer? Who knows? Honestly, I didn't know, and I didn't care. I remember something about her and her father, not really sure how much he was involved in the admissions process, and neither of them understood that the university starts a month earlier than the universities in most other countries. I'm not sure who messed up there. I never met her father. Okay, so she came late. Mistakes do happen. In the first week she was there with us, she obviously joined the rest of the study group to the cheap restaurant that was across the street from the university. The first few things I learned from her came from this restaurant visit. She had just graduated within the last year, and this was her first time being without her parents, etc. So far, nothing really out of the ordinary. She told us that so far, she's not cooked for herself since arriving here. I guess that's fair too. Money for delivery in restaurants wasn't a problem for her, and insecurity about cooking isn't uncommon if you are without any prior experience. Yeah, I think I had that point in my life too. It actually went on for a good long time. Throughout the Navy, a few years after, I've only gotten a little bit of confidence with cooking because my wife said she likes my adobo. Which may be true or not, but I've taken it to heart.
True.
It is true, okay. Up until that point, I only ever really cooked myself like steak and eggs. And a salad, which doesn't require any cooking. But anyways, yes, I do understand her struggles. So you might have noticed just how much the OP is trying to give this woman some plausible deniability. You have been very fair thus far, I will say that much. I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop at this point. Because the flow of the conversation led to her telling us how she attempted to cook some rice. She comes from an Asian country that is known for rice consumption, India, but she was young, had no prior cooking experience, etc. No big deal. I would have had to look up minutes and water content, etc. myself back then, at her age/experience level, that is. Now I know. Well, thank God for that. Everybody really should know how to cook rice. It's pretty simple. No amount of Kevin stories can immunize you against the surprise and confusion that you will have once you hear a story like hers in person. You would be like, huh? But why? Now, when a normal person wants to cook some rice, but has no idea how, they ask for help. Or, Googling a tutorial might be the sensible and correct thing to do. She has her iPhone. She is surely able to do this. But no, she explained how she put rice in a pan. No water, not even oil, nada. Yeah, toasted rice. She burned her dry rice completely black. Okay, we've learned. We're moving onwards and upwards. Yeah, understandable how that would make it easier to order just food delivery. I didn't really think much of it, except for it being a funny story that a person could have in, a lapse of judgment, or during some ignorant first attempt at cooking. I had some funny stupidities in my cooking history as well. As did I. You can ask my patron ZeroMMX about the time I boiled eggs, got high, fell asleep, and almost burned our apartment down. Whoopsie! Except for the occasional class participation, I didn't have too many interactions with her. I kept mostly to my small circle of friends and wasn't interested in expanding it too wide. During our first aid test, we had to show them that we knew how to do chest compressions. She was among the last to perform, so she had plenty of people to imitate if she so wanted, but it was a test under direct supervision of the teacher. Benefit of the doubt is given. Nervosity is a thing after all. She forgot all the things. Oh boy. No call for ambulance, no checking of consciousness and or breathing as far as I remember, and her chest compressions started in the stomach area. He's throwing up. That's like breathing, right? Yeah, close enough. The teacher corrected her a bit, but after a while I was wondering if she'd let her compress until the ambulance that she didn't call finally arrives. Whether or not this was the case, our Kavina finally gave up after a while. Well, the course was very lenient, and I assumed at first that she was probably given a pass, but it turns out later that she in fact was not. She was one of the only people in the class, and possibly the entire semester, that failed the first aid class. There's also a theoretical/written part, but the teacher wasn't in the room, so cheating was a given. That teacher knows exactly what they're doing. They're just trying to hand this one to you on a silver platter. First aid seems like a really bad thing to screw up though, doesn't it? You need to be sure those people are on point, right? Come on, man. Yeah, I'm CPR certified. I'll watch you, kids. But actually, she's the bottom of the class. Jesus. No one cared enough for first aid to study it properly. That's a shame, man. I already had 3 first aid courses in the first 24 months before that, and I had no intention to learn it again. It's possible that she was given a pass for the chest compressions, but failed the written part. I don't really know. That would be far more ridiculous. And I do love silly things, but come on, that seems like a stretch. She didn't cheat when everybody else is cheating, but the teacher let her pass with her stomach chest compressions. No, I don't think so. This is about the extent that I learned of Kavina's moments, until over the course of the next semester, I learned even more details. I was opening up a bit more to the other students in my study group. We'd lost most of the dead weight at this point, and we were now a study group with good enough social cohesion and unity The dead weight were like people who only attended 3 to 4 classes the entire semester, had only one course with us, ghosted us in the 3rd month, etc. Again, we were the dumping ground for such students. In a social event, I ended up talking to one person in my study group, let's call him Ivan, who had more stories to tell about Kevina. Oh boy. Well, first of all, there is a sequel to her cooking attempts. Now I'm trying to retell the story as accurately as I'm able to. I've heard the story once from Ivan and once from her, as once I came across her in the Mensa, she repeated the first semester and was not in my study group anymore. And it was sometime after her first failed attempt at cooking rice that she tried again. She had learned from her burned corpse of incinerated rice that water is needed to cook it. Big brain time. He told me that she did not remove the plastic that the rice came in. Plausible deniability. Some rice can be bought in these packages, and maybe she just made a mistake, or his retelling maybe was sort of inaccurate, but that somehow translated into her cooking breaking the pot itself. This, again, is more likely a product defect than her actual cooking. She did confirm that the lid of the pot was cracked, and she sort of took the blame for it. Something in her expression was there that makes me think that she believes, having had a lapse in judgment, the plain story just didn't convey properly. Okay, she burned the rice to shit, she cooked the rice inside of plastic. 3rd time's gonna be the charm, I'll tell you. She's getting it figured out. But it must be a horrifying thing to witness. Honestly, I think she probably broke the pot or whatever because there's too much freaking rice in it. You put a whole bag of rice in there? Bro, it's gonna overflow in no time. I'm not sure if I've ever broken a pot or a pan, but I wouldn't really think twice about it. Probably happened to me already and I just forgot. Accidents happen. Products can be faulty, irrelevant, and in no way indicative of her Kevinness. I like how OP's going to bat for her too. See, he kind of likes her because she's just happy-go-lucky, kind of derpy. Reminds me of myself, honestly. It's a beautiful thing. Here are some other stories that Ivan told me. In the chat Ivan had with her, they were talking about how to ride from uni to the hospital for the first aid classes. She misspelled tram as tramp, which was a funny mishap until he noticed that that's how she pronounces it as well. Oh, it's kind of sad to just laugh at her and shit behind her back. Like, why wouldn't you correct her at that point? Like, hey, you're saying it wrong. It's like a moment of awkwardness compared to like an eternity of her obliviousness. And I don't know, man, it just seems like kind of a dick move to not correct her on purpose. I still call the tram tramp now. It's one of my favorite inside jokes. Well, it's not the tramp, but the bus that goes directly from uni to the hospital. But she seemingly did not understand it. She kept asking him, when does the tramp come? It is funny. God damn it. I wish it wasn't as funny as it is. When does the tramp come? Whenever you start beating it right, I guess. Ivan apparently didn't correct her on the tramp thing, or if he did, he failed. And he answered, we're taking the bus, not the tram. Fed up after repeated questions, Ivan decided to go full meme and pointed both hands at the road saying, bitch, do you see rails? Okay, unwarranted, but funny, outburst aside. I don't think it's that funny, honestly. You're just being mean to her at this point. But of course, she didn't let this outburst stop her, but now at least she understood that they were waiting for a bus thing. She didn't know what a bus was, okay? She then proceeded to ask him repeatedly for any unordinary larger vehicle, even cars, if that was their bus. It was a major bus station, though. I don't understand how he struggled to explain it to her. Honestly, half of this probably comes from his impatience with her, not her Kevina antics. Yeah, she's in a strange country. She's not familiar with the language. Honestly, this whole post kind of puts a bad taste in my mouth, you know? She might be a bit dense, but god damn it, she's putting on a smile and trying her best. Why don't you do the fucking same? Not necessarily to OP, but definitely to Ivan. What the hell, bro? Ugh. She also went through 3 iPhones in her first semester. She has a spare one ready in case one of them breaks. And of course, daddy and mommy pay for those. These individual phones have probably seen more screen use than my singular phone that semester, and I'm a YouTube addict. I mean, you gotta check up on the gram, you know what it is. Also, edit to add, I talked to Ivan and he told me some more stories that I forgot about. So first, 2 corrections. 1, I might have confused the rice story regarding the plastic bags. It might not be 2 different stories after all, at least from what I can piece together. He wasn't there when she told the first rice cooking attempt story. The plastic bags were likely part of the first story, which makes her first attempt even worse, because that means that she burned rice inside of plastic bags without any water or oil in the pan. And burned plastic, yeah, that ain't nice. Maybe that's why the pan broke. It didn't really break, she just couldn't figure out how to scrape the plastic out of it. 2, the tramp story happened after, not before, first aid. Ivan was also just not in the mood to explain to her what a bus was, therefore didn't even bother. Ivan's an asshole, bro. After first aid, wanting to go back to the hostel, the questions about the tramp and the bitch do you see the rails was uttered. Now to the news stories, of course told by Ivan, who I already hate, so these will be some nice stories for me to poop on. Ivan said there's a proverb, too dumb to boil eggs. Well, first time is hard for everyone. Remember when I said I almost burned my apartment down boiling eggs? Yeah. No wonder I'm relegated to YouTube for a job. Oh boy. Boiling water? Check. Eggs? Check. Nothing out of the ordinary after 10 minutes? Ivan asked about the eggs. 10 minutes. He figured, well, they'll be hard-boiled now, but still edible. However, she refused. No, it's not done yet. What? Why? The shell is still there. Oh no. Well, I'm so torn, man. I can go to bat for her on like everything else, but like, what did you think was gonna happen to the shell? But you're supposed to peel it off after. No, it's fine. Okay, whatever. After 20 to 30 minutes of cooking, Ivan, who left the room, came back and said, the eggs are mush now, just coming out of the shell's mush. She then said, okay, then they're done now. And surprise, surprise, she didn't like those eggs. What? That is a freaking ride. Story 4. She orders hamburger, takes a bite, and decides that she doesn't like the meat. She takes out the patty and eats the rest of the burger. Okay, well, maybe she's never eaten one before. I mean, she is from India. She might be Hindu. Cows are sacred. Nobody told her it's a cow. You should probably tell her it's a cow. I'm not sure she knows it's a cow. Ivan doesn't believe that she never had a burger before. At another food place we ordered, and she asked if they could order a burger for her. The same thing happens again. Takes a bite, doesn't like beef, throws it away. I mean, that's an idiosyncrasy, but I guess I give her a pass. On a trip to the supermarket, Ivan met up with Kavina. She needs to buy food. Ivan's already annoyed for her inviting herself to his immediate surroundings, but she has a right to buy food, he reckons. She asks where the chicken is, and he gives her directions. Well, she eventually comes back with a food product. He doesn't remember exactly what it was, but it was not chicken. And she asks, is this chicken? No. She comes back with a portion of chicken breast. It has a chicken drawn on the wrapping. Is this chicken? Well, yes. For fuck's sake, Kavina, leave me alone. I just want to shop. And we're right back to Ivan being a complete dick again. Like, how hard is it for you to take 5 seconds out of your day to confirm if what she bought or not is chicken? I mean, nobody is entitled to your time or attention. I get that. But she's obviously having a difficult time in a new country. And you're just generally being a douche about it. Ugh. I already mentioned her parents just throwing money at her and missing half the time. Well, credit cards, when used abroad, typically have a fee. She bought something for €4, and the fee was like €20. God damn, that is ridiculous. But I can also confirm that it happens in the Philippines from time to time. I had to bite the bullet once or twice. Finally, she used a Russian Tinder ripoff. Badoo? Badoo. That's hot. That sounds sexy. Badoo. You're going on Badoo. And she was chatting with like 3 men. One of these guys was Russian, so she asked Ivan to chat for her. But she became paranoid and clawed into his hand, so Ivan goes, fuck it, and gives the phone back. New boyfriend comes to the city. Ivan met him and thought that he was older than this new boyfriend, but nope, this new guy turns out to be like 10 years older than she is. They've been a couple for 2 years now. Either he's like her, likes her enough to not care, and or loves her for her parents' money. Ivan doesn't know, but he's happy not to be the object of her desire anymore. Yes, Kavina was into Ivan for a long time, and he was not into her. I mean, I've said many times before, age gap relationships, not really my thing. 10 years, that's not even that much of an age gap, to be completely honest. Wifey and I are 6 years apart. And additionally, to add on top of that, what fucking business is it of yours or Ivan's what reason they're together? This OP's gotta be so fucking bereft of activity to attack this woman that is simply having a hard time in a country where she doesn't fluently speak the language. God forbid. Edit over. So this is where the funny part of the post ends. Oh God. The next story is not so lighthearted. If the trigger applies to you, don't read further. I'll copy and paste the last paragraph before the trigger warning so that you can get a closing statement. Kavina is, to this day, the friendliest and happiest person that I've ever met and conversed with. I hardly doubt that anyone could take that gold medal from her. She's only rivaled by one psychiatric patient that I interacted with, but that's a different story. See, look at this. These like subtle little digs, you know? Oh, there's one person happier, but he's a mental patient. You came at her soft for most of the story, but at the end of the day, fuck you, OP. Really, the only thing that I would call unforgivable is like her expecting the eggs to come out of the shell while they're boiling or some shit like that. That's inherently hilarious. But everything else, yeah, understandable mistakes for somebody overseas for the first time. Or not really overseas, in a different country. You know what I'm talking about. But okay, let's get this shit show over with. Trigger warning for sexual abuse. I've heard this story from 2 to 3 sources, including Ivan. Why don't you go suck Ivan's dick? And now I'm coming at it too strong. All right, wind it back. There might have been some errors in there, so I'll keep it as short and condensed as possible. Disclaimer 1. Kavina is doing fine, by the way. She seems not to be disturbed or traumatized, etc. in any way. I wouldn't be telling the story otherwise. As far as I can tell, alcohol was involved, and she might not fully remember all of it. However, the conveyed story clearly points towards sexual abuse having taken place, but not to her. Disclaimer 2. This is in no way victim blaming. The preceding stories in no way justify her being treated this way, nor does anyone deserve to be treated this way. Your and her trust, no matter how misplaced it happens to be, should not be broken, invalidated, or betrayed. Predators attack the vulnerable out of opportunity and not karma. Karma? Or how a friend phrased it, she doesn't have the attire of a slut, but he has the mind of a pervert. Okay, so I did mention that she was new to this city, had no prior experience of living alone, had no close friends yet, no previous experience with alcohol, and does not speak the native language. English works well here, so that won't really be a problem. As a man, I obviously don't understand how bad/unsafe/threatening it is for women to be alone at night in a city that you don't know, with no one that you could call that could help you. Well, as a man, you must be blissfully ignorant if you don't understand how unsafe or threatening it is to be alone at night in a city that you don't know. Perhaps it's not on the same level as a woman might experience, but that doesn't mean that you should write off one gender as weaker or stronger than the other. Ugh. The closer we come to the end, the more I just fucking want it to be over. So Kavita decided she was a legal adult, and she wanted to party and drink. I see nothing wrong with her choice there. Might be a bit naive to not find any colleagues to go out with. She lived in a student hostel. But I would have been, through my gender, blind to such concerns. Oh, for all of us to lead such a blessed life. That is one of the stupidest things I've heard in this story. Even stupider than the boiled eggs thing. I bet OP is just like super young, you know, thinks he's invincible and all that shit. But the point still needs to be made that you should not be blind to such concerns. Oh, those are women concerns. Oh, blow it out your ass. She was not blinded by gender, but most likely her very sheltered upbringing. It started out harmless enough, with her only drinking a shot or two of vodka, maybe spiked, but maybe she just had a blackout that deleted the memory of having some more alcohol. Or she just gets drunk easily, as she's unexperienced with it. Well, duh. I just had my first 2 shots ever. How did I possibly get fucking drunk? God damn it. Rape drugs, of course, are a possibility, but I think that's not the case here. Alcohol alone can already be dangerous enough, and she seemed conscious enough to eventually call herself a cab home. Or it was called for her. I don't know. Add some spoons of salt, please. I will add no salt. This is the definition of an unreliable narrator. I don't even know who is telling this story. Who saw her out and drinking and just decided, yeah, I'm gonna leave her alone to stumble about the city, find her own way home. Like, what the hell? All of these people are terrible. The second part of the story comes from her return to the hostel. As far as I can piece it together, she arrived in a taxi, intoxicated and with destroyed pants/underwear, and was accompanied by another student from the taxi to her room, although they weren't in the taxi together. I don't remember if there was something happening with the taxi driver or something as well, but I vaguely remember that there was another third party involved. What the hell is even going on here, dude? It's like such nebulous details. Yeah, maybe somebody else was there or something happened. No shit. I don't know exactly when this happened, big surprise, but as far as I can tell, nothing in her behavior or attitude has changed. But I'm the worst at noticing such things. She also didn't recall most of the night after her 1 shot of vodka. From what I've heard, the likelihood that she was raped is very possible, but sexual assault is basically guaranteed. When very softly asked about it, she was super nonchalant and basically unconcerned. She gave us the impression that she didn't understand that she was sexually assaulted. Now that part is kind of hinky, like people saw her getting out of a taxi with wrecked pants and underwear, and she's like, yeah, whatever. Maybe she got attacked by a dog or something like that. Nobody really actually knows. And if she hasn't told you the story herself, like, fucking stop reading into it so much. Of course, OP didn't dig any deeper, and only met her 2 to 3 times after learning of the story dump that Ivan gave, except for the vague confirmation of some story parts that I carefully asked about to confirm what I had heard. What happened to her was not her fault. Most women probably will find themselves similarly vulnerable sometimes, and so will most men, you fucking lunkheads. And even though her naivete made her more vulnerable and oblivious, that doesn't make her guilty, let alone deserving of sexual assault. It's not something that happened because she's a Kevina. The reason I included this story here is because of the strong impression that she gave us of not being able to process sexual abuse intellectually. But the caviar, I think you mean the caveat of this, also being a common response to trauma, gives it a strong ambiguity that I'm not really comfortable with. Although comfortable enough with it to just share it on all of Reddit, are you? Ugh. I was with OP at the start. Now we've spent too long together. I think he's a fucking bag of dirt. I do have a really negative opinion about her family, though. Oh, here comes the fucking opinion train. Everybody get on board. They are either as compromised as her, or don't like her enough to be decent parents. Sheltering a kid to the point that she doesn't know how to cook and ride a bus is bad enough. But then to just send her away across a continent into a high-demanding academic pathway without any restrictions or warnings about the dangers she might encounter, I honestly think they just wanted to boost her profile. She studied some medicine abroad. And then marry her off or something. They're wealthy enough for that to be a viable strategy. I don't know enough about Indian culture or society to make such statements, but you're making them anyways. I only see what their parenting resulted in. Their motives are irrelevant for me. I mean, there is a point somewhere in there, but goddamn, dude, I'm having some trouble trying to suss it out. Kavita is, to this day, the friendliest and happiest person that I've met and conversed with. I hardly doubt anyone can take that gold medal away from her. And then we mention the psychiatric patient one last time to drive home the point that OP is a backbiting piece of crap. Well, hot damn, I absolutely hated this story. It's been a while since I came after an OP like that, but dude has got his head so far up his own ass that he could probably taste what he ate for dinner last week. Ugh. Regarding the last point that he made with like the negative opinion about the parents, okay, they did ship her overseas, and she obviously did not have the life skills to deal with that, but they probably assumed that everybody around her wouldn't be a fucking dick and just like laughing at her for her inadequacies, you know? People need help from time to time, especially if they aren't, you know, so good with the Google foo. It's very easy to say how to cook rice in Google, but if that's not something that she considered, then it's not something that she considered. Maybe you could be the bigger person and make that suggestion to her. Like, did you know you can use this for all kinds of cool things? Instead of being like, haha, she doesn't know what chicken is. God, I hate this subreddit. I don't know if I'll be back here anytime soon. Maybe somebody can point me to like a better example of a story. I basically picked this one because it was big and it was fresh, but it was really a big pile of shit at the end of it. Left a super bad taste in my mouth, especially with the ending that like includes a sexual assault seemingly for no reason. Just to spice up the story a little bit, is it? Ugh, OP's such a douche. I hate him. I have a very high tolerance for things like this, but pompous OPs telling somebody else's story and then looking down on them for it is something that I will not stand. He burned the peanut butter, set off the smoke alarm.
Pork chop sandwiches.
I fired Kevin after one day of amazing stupidity. Oh, use a laser moon centaur. Your name's been tossed around quite a bit. I'm looking forward to this one. Originally posted this on r/askreddit, and someone suggested that I post it here. This is probably one of the stupidest people that I have ever met. He was a 26-year-old male and turned up an hour and a half late the very first day. He was brought in by his mom, which I thought was kind of odd for a grown man. I let that slide, but then things just got worse. I mean, 26, I don't know, life stuff happens. It's passable, I suppose. It was a small roadside cafe/eatery, so I thought that I'd get him started on some small duties to just ease him into the way of the place. I asked him to put new toilet paper in the toilets, and a minute or so later, I hear him yelling, "LP! It won't fit on the toilet roll holder." I'm like, what? That's a pretty simple thing. He calls out again, so I tell him to bring it to me so I could show him. And he's carrying a roll of paper towels. is almost 3 times the length of the toilet paper holder. Kevin, I say, that is a paper towel.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Have you ever seen toilet paper that big in your life?
No.
Right. Furthermore, and probably more perplexing, can you not see that this massive roll could not possibly fit on this small bar?
Yeah, I thought that was odd.
I mean, maybe this roadside cafe just serves food that makes you poop, so they need really big toilet paper or something. Oh boy. Well, the day goes on, and after the kitchen is pretty much closed except for pre-cooked baked goods, I get him to give a general cleaning and ask to make sure that he wipes down all the benches. I leave him to it as I assume that he's doing fine. Wrong. One of the other staff comes and says that we've run out of toilet paper, and I'm like, what? That's not possible. Sure enough, all the packs are torn open and empty, except for the rolls that are on the holders. At this stage, I realize that there can only be one culprit, and I call Kevin over. Did you do something with the toilet paper? What the fuck is it with this guy and toilet paper?
Yeah, I used it to wipe down the benches in the kitchen.
You used 8 rolls of toilet paper to wipe down the benches in the kitchen? Why are you using toilet paper to wipe down benches?
I don't like using the dishcloth.
Who taught you to wipe down benches with toilet paper? Have you ever seen anyone wipe down benches with toilet paper?
The cloth was dirty, and I didn't want to clean it out.
Oh boy. Is a cloth really so hard to clean, Kevin? God damn. By this stage, I'm thinking, day's nearly over. Just let it go, and I'm sure it'll work out fine. Yeah, you know what's coming. Kevin strikes again, and this time it is beyond moronic. So I've got him on serving customers pastries and the like, because all you really have to do is take it out of the glass bay, put it on a plate, and give it to him. He doesn't even have to ring it up. Just pop the pastries on a plate and give it to the customer. Well, one of the customers orders 3 scones with jam and cream. He's behind the counter doing his thing, and I have a little peek and see, yes, he's cut them in half and managed to put the jam and cream on them. Good so far. About a minute later, the customer brings the scones back up to the counter. There's something really hard in these scones. I bit down and it was like I was crunching on a rock or something. Of course, I'm puzzled. Oh, I'm really sorry about that. And that's when Kevin cuts in.
It's probably just the seeds in the jam.
Now there's something about the way he says this that makes my alarm bells ring. Show me what you put on those scones. And I start marching towards the prep bench. Sitting on the bench is the bowl of whipped cream, and next to it, in a plastic bag, is a broken glass jar, which contains the jam. Wow, this motherfucker is feeding the customers broken glass. That's like so beyond Kevin, dude. That's criminal. What the hell?
I didn't think it would be a big deal.
Are you fucking insane? I grabbed the plate of mostly uneaten, glass-infused scones. How is anyone supposed to eat this? To my utter amazement, Kevin does indeed proceed to eat them. Right in front of me, all the while crunching on glass and flinching every time he does. I'm paralyzed, dumbfounded. When he finishes eating them, he says,
"Do you think I should go to the hospital?"
You're fired, Kevin. See, it's no wonder that he needed his mom to drive him. By himself, this dude would not find his way to work. I'm surprised he found his own way out the fucking front door. That is insane. Are you kidding me? And then the fact that he actually proceeded to eat these glass-infused scones. I'm sitting here like, No, man, this is natural selection. Just, just let him finish. Natural selection is doing its thing right now, and we are impeding progress, Kevin. Oh, that poor customer too, man. God damn. I don't think the OP probably told them about that little oopsie, but that is a lawsuit waiting to happen if I've ever heard one. Jesus Christ. It's a good thing that you fired this guy. Definitely way more trouble than he's worth. It's just so hard to find good help these days. Well, yeah, I'm digging these stories now that we're getting into the real goody goods. So let's jump into another one. Why not? Another suggested post, and this one is the most upvoted of all time currently in r/StoriesAboutKevin. So you know it's gonna be good. Shouts out to you, Lego Maniac 89. My boss's stepson is a Kevin to end all Kevins. God, end all Kevins. Wouldn't that be something? Too good to hope for. So, just over a year ago, I switched jobs and went to work for a guy who we'll call Bob, who is running a new/used aquarium shop. The shop was built onto his house, so as a result, I've become pretty close with his family, including his 15-year-old stepson, who is the most Kevin person that I have ever met. For the first couple of months, I thought he was just a bit quirky and clumsy, but as I've come to know him more, I've discovered that he is a Kevin of the highest order. Now, I've known some dumb teenagers in my time. Hell, I used to be one. But this kid is just on another level. Just in the year that I've known him, he licked a lit match because he thought fire would taste like a flaming hot Cheeto. There's two different types of heat, Kevin, okay? There's a flavor heat and there's a temperature heat. The two are not equivalent. He can't climb a flight of stairs without tripping his way up them. This is a multiple times a day occurrence. Maybe he's just in a rush to go play Fortnite or something. You know these kids. He once dropped a bowl of cereal and milk, and rather than clean the mess up with a towel, he soaked up the spill with his sock. A sock that was still on his foot, might I add. He then put on his shoes. Oh no! See, I could have gone with the sock. I'm like, okay, I get it. Lazy's lazy. But then to not even change the sock. He then went out to catch the bus and went to school with a soaking wet milk sock. Milk socks. That's $1 million idea if I ever heard one. He went to the school nurse that day because he was convinced that his foot was bleeding and soaking through his sock. He just forgot about the milk sock. God damn. He wants to be the first pro-Trump rapper and is currently pissed off at Kanye for stealing his idea. Oh, you would think that would be dated, but goddamn, it's still just as funny as it would have been 2 years ago. He is failing gym class. I have no idea how one fails gym class. He's broken more than 20 aquariums in the last year. When we buy used tanks, they need to be washed and leak tested before we resell them. Kevin sometimes does this to help out, but he can't understand that when you wrap the hose around an aquarium, you can't just yank it free. For reference, I've been in the aquarium hobby for 12 years and I've broken 2. Kevin is not allowed to clean tanks anymore. Yeah, he's just in a rush. He's got to yank that hose free and go play Fortnite. I don't know why I'm shitting on Fortnite. I play a lot of Fortnite too. Bob was selling an older, fairly good condition Cadillac that had been sitting in his driveway for a while. The day before the buyer came to pick it up, Kevin was mowing the yard and scraped the handle of the mower along the entire length of one side of the car. Holy crap. Gotta give me a discount on that, Bob. He likes to use Jew as an insult. Oh, he's Cartman. When I called him out on it, I discovered that he thought Jewish people didn't actually exist. He thought that they were just an imaginary race of people that everyone pretended to hate. What? Holy God. He played lacrosse on his school's team this summer and got benched all season because he told the coach that
he didn't need to run laps or go to practice.
And this is also probably why he's failing gym class. He left in the morning like normal to go catch the bus. 3 hours later, he came back saying that he missed the bus and needed to be driven to school. The problem? It was Labor Day. There was no school. He stood at the bus stop for 3 hours on a day when there was no school. I don't understand how. Like, aren't the non-school days the ones that these kids are keeping track of the most? Oh, man. This is bad. He eats absolutely everything in sight. If you leave food unattended for more than 10 seconds, consider it gone. Bob went to Taco Bell and got food for the 4 of us. Kevin was left alone with it and ate his, mine, Bob's, and half of his mom's food before he realized that
it probably wasn't all for him.
Yeah, I guess kids are hungry, you know. But goddamn, this boy's really putting it away. When he found out that I'm a chili head, he bragged for a week about how
he loves super spicy food too.
He then tried to glob my ex-Horesco after I warned him repeatedly not to, and he spent the next 2 hours crying and blaming me. Not as much of a chili head as you thought, huh? We've been gradually remodeling the house when we're not working in the store. Kevin's bedroom was the first room that we finished, and he managed to put a hole in the wall on the very first day that he moved in. Was that a clumsy hole or an angry hole? One day, completely out of the blue, Kevin asked me,
I know girls don't have a penis, but is there just like a hole beneath their belly button where a penis would be?
Ask your mother. Bob told Kevin to wash the truck one day earlier this year, and Kevin thought that he'd be helpful and wash out the fuel tank as well. With water. God damn. His school lets him rent a tablet for schoolwork. He got it taken away within a week because he was using it for porn. I assume he was just watching porn to find out if girls had a hole where a penis should be. It's all research. His parents signed him up for tutoring to help with his grades. Turns out, all the tutoring in the world won't help your grades if you never turn in your homework. He was under the impression that homework was optional. Also, he routinely falls asleep in class. He thought that fish were just very active plants. Yes, really. He managed to tip over and dump the contents of the trash can that he was taking out to the roadside to be picked up. Well, rather than pick up the mess, he just kicked the trash around and spread it out across the yard. In hopes that it would be less noticeable if the mess was less concentrated. Isn't that like completely opposed to logic? Not only is it way more noticeable now, but it's also way more of a pain to pick it all up. Oh, Kevin, what a classic. I know there's more that I'm forgetting, and I'll edit this post as I remember them, or as Kevin gives me more material. I'll just leave you with this tidbit. Kevin starts driving in 3 months. May the gods have mercy on us all. Edit 1. To everyone wondering if Kevin has some kind of undiagnosed mental health issue, I suppose it's possible, but it seems more like a severe lack of common sense than anything else. I never met his biological dad, but from what I've learned from his mom, he's one of those people who's habitually unemployed, yet spends all day bitching about how
immigrants and minorities are a drain on society.
I'm hoping that Kevin will eventually grow out of his Kevinness and not follow in his bio dad's footsteps. Edit 2. Even more! One just happened this week. The other apparently happened a couple of months ago, and Bob just told me about it. Kevin decided that he was going to practice his blacksmithing God, by removing the leaf catcher from the lawnmower and bending the shit out of the metal frame. He then realized after the fact that He was probably going to get in trouble for ruining the leaf catcher, so he decided to just burn the bag and throw the frame in the trash. Bob found out, of course, and Kevin has spent the last week complaining about how tedious it is to manually rake the leaves out of the yard. Well, you reap what you sow there, don't you? Kevin discovered that you could take things apart with a screwdriver. God, who's giving this kid tools? Don't do it, he's gonna kill himself. Open up the TV or the radio while it's still plugged in. And he decided to disassemble the blender with his newfound knowledge. He took the entire thing apart and had no idea how to put it back together again. So he just left the pieces all over the counter. When his parents asked him why he did it, he first denied that it was him. And then he claimed that the blender just randomly fell apart for no reason. I took this screw out and it all came apart. I don't know what's going on. Edit 3, the final edit. Since this has been getting a bit of attention today, here's an update on how Kevin's 2019 has been so far. Kevin has not started driving yet, and he likely won't for at least another year. Bob bought him an old Jeep that needed repairs before it was drivable, and Kevin managed to knock off one of the side mirrors with his bicycle. I have no idea how. Kevin also decided to start writing a fantasy novel, and in a moment of weakness, I volunteered to be his beta reader. He then told me that it's going to be
an erotic orc fiction with swords.
He can't make it up, man. Jesus, this guy is out there. OP, if you still got that novel, I want to get my hands on it. Just for science. Kevin was making a grilled cheese sandwich and decided to experiment and put some peanut butter on it. He burned the peanut butter, set off the smoke alarm, ate half of the sandwich, gagged, threw it in the trash, and then decided to dig it out of the trash and eat the rest. Oh, this is horrible, but not horrible enough to just throw it away. Kevin's also not allowed to have a cell phone because he's still failing a number of classes and he's too easily distracted by technology. So he's been going to Walmart and buying the cheapest phone that they have and hiding it from his parents. The problem is that he hides it in his pocket and he doesn't know how to silence the ringtones. He's had at least 3 phones taken away from him. Finally, Kevin got a blunt from one of his friends at school, smoked it, and then told his parents that that smell was his new cologne. Mommy, Daddy, I just want to grow up and be a pothead like my dad. Oh my God, what a mess. I'm sure Bob is thanking his lucky stars at this point that Kevin was not spawned from him. He's a good guy to take all this on. I don't know if I could do it. I'd be like, what the hell is wrong with you, dude? And then, of course, Mom jumps in and she's like, you can't speak to him that way. I'm like, he's walking around with the milk sock on. He told me his foot is rotting because of the combination of foot sweat and rancid milk. Oh, God. I take it all back, what I said in the last episode. I love stories about Kevin. There's so much shit going on here that I'm not even sure what to touch on 100%, but it's hilarious. All of it through and through. I don't think that he's as bad as the previous Kevin trying to feed customers glass and stuff like that. He's got upper management written all over him. I don't know if he'll be able to do anything else in this world. God damn, dude. I was definitely a weird kid at 15, but thank God, at no point was I this weird, this clueless. At least I don't think that I was. Then again, you don't have a whole lot of perspective at 15 either. You just think that you're fucking God's gift to the planet. I could probably hit my mom up and she could come up with plenty of Kevin stories on her own. Because that's what real gangsters do.
Am I a gangster? No.
Sensible Sam and Kevin. Oh, it's like Sir Sam, but, you know, the complete opposite. Long-time lurker, first-time poster, throwaway account, on mobile, no one cares. I think that's just how you have to start a Reddit post. It's contractual. This is about a Kevin in my program at college. She, a Kavina, was actually a pretty mediocre kid, mostly, for the first few years. She scraped by in classes, had a few friends, and more than a few moments of pure, unadulterated Kevinness. Several highlights include jumping off of a 2-story roof to see what would happen. Gravity is gonna happen. A complete inability to comprehend the difference between ice cream and gelato, despite many attempts to explain it to her, and drinking an unspecified amount of espresso and spending the better part of an hour literally running in circles around the architecture building to burn off the excess energy. The ice cream and gelato thing, I could see it, I'm not sure I know the difference offhand. I guess I could Google it. That's the difference between me and Kevin's. Kevin's don't Google shit. At one point, a boy that was about a year ahead of Kevin in the program took an interest in her. Let's call him Sensible Sam. Sensible Sam and Kevina set up a date at a nice place just off campus. Kevin got understandably nervous before the date, and the panic response was to drink an entire large milkshake immediately prior to meeting Sensible Sam. Kevin is lactose intolerant. Kevin threw up. This milkshake should calm my stomach. Yeah, unless you're lactose intolerant, which is probably something you knew about yourself if OP knows that about you. What the hell is going on, man? For some godforsaken reason, Sensible Sam kept dating her. They actually fell head over heels for each other and stayed together for years. Sensible Sam probably thought he could save her from herself. All this despite the fact that Kevin suggested a lovely little downtown place for dinner, got horribly lost, and could find neither the restaurant nor the way back to campus. They have lived in this town for years. Maybe they just don't get out often. Accidentally claimed to be single just after her and Sensible Sam's 1-year anniversary. I don't know if that's an accident. Decided the minor side effects of her morning ADHD meds were not worth dealing with all day, so she started taking them at night. Her ADHD meds are effective for about 6 hours after being taken. She was almost entirely useless until she went to refill her prescription, and her doctor outright told her what an idiot she is. She asked Sensible Sam how to spell his last name. His last name is only 4 letters, and they had been dating for months at this point. Does the last name involve an accent mark of any sort? What if his last name's Jose? Then I might have some trouble spelling that if I was an idiot. Good old Sam Jose. He put up with all this. She found her way onto the roof of the art building, was not immune to getting in trouble after putting some pictures that she took on her Snapchat story instead of a group chat. She forgot her shoes on the walk of shame twice. Tried to take Sir Sam to meet her parents and somehow drove to the wrong state. What the fuck? Signed up for a class, forgot about it for the entire semester, and of course failed because she never showed up. Sensible Sam proposed a week ago. Still don't know why he deals with my dumb ass. I got lucky, y'all. Oh, it's OP the whole time. What a twist at the end, dude. I love it. A lot of this stuff is like, just kind of being bad with directions, or I don't know, being lactose intolerant and drinking a milkshake, taking ADHD meds at night. Like, you'd think that you'd notice after you're up at 3 a.m, like just rocking back and forth in the fetal position. Like, I don't know why I can't go to sleep. Well, darling, that's because you took some amphetamine right before you were supposed to go to bed. Holy crap. But I do like how OP fessed up. She's just like, yeah, all this stuff happened, and guess what? It was me. And also, I got super lucky. Sensible Sam seems like a cool dude for putting up with it, and OP seems like a cool chick for throwing it out there, sharing some of the flubs that she's made. So I wish both of you guys the best. I do hope that you've practiced a bit more critical thinking in later years, but I know that can be difficult sometimes. At least I know that sensible Sam will be there to point you in the right direction. God, what a great story. These top posts are so good, dude. There's one where Kevin drives a truck. We're going to get to it eventually, but the boss's stepson is the second story we have queued up for today. So let's go ahead and make it do what it do. My boss's stepson is a Kevin to end all Kevins. Part 2. Again, description if you missed part 1. I am back with more stories of the now 16 years old Uber Kevin. For those that aren't familiar, here's the link to the original post. If you haven't seen this post yet, do yourself a favor and read it before continuing here, and you'll thank yourself for it later. I've been at this job for close to 2 years now, and not a week goes by where I don't hear stories from Bob, my boss, Kevin's stepdad, or Ann, Kevin's mom. To be honest, I don't know why they share these things with me because it's really none of my business. But I'm not about to stop them because it is truly fascinating what Kevin manages to accomplish. They probably think so too. They find it just as hilarious as all of us. I still get the occasional message about him from various Redditors here, so I'll address the 3 most popular points first. He's still not driving, nor will he be anytime soon. Thank God. His parents decided that putting him behind the wheel of a 2-ton machine could end up with them being accused of war crimes. So they told him that he wasn't allowed to take a driving test until he got his grades up. So we're safe, for the foreseeable future, at least. But this was posted 2 years ago. Oh God, I bet he's on the road. He apparently lost interest in the
Erotic orc fiction with swords.
that he was writing. He's writing a new book now that involves a shape-changing weapon and the apocalyptic wrath of God. That's all I know, and I am not volunteering to be a beta reader for this one. His parents have had him tested for autism and various other things, and so far it's all come back negative other than some mild ADHD, and he's on medication for that. Whether he actually takes those meds is seriously up for debate. I'm sticking with my initial analysis of borderline malicious laziness and a stunning lack of common sense. The boy ain't right. Although that book does sound kind of cool. Shape-changing weapon and the apocalyptic wrath of God. If you had any writing talent, you could make that work. Unfortunately, considering how much talent he has at other things, I probably wouldn't beta read it either, unless it's for the channel, because you know there's some cringe in there. Given that Kevin's not driving anytime soon, he's been using his bicycle as a primary means of transportation, and that is going about as well as you would expect. He was riding his bike through town and went into a store, came back out and saw that his bike had been stolen. His mom had to come pick him up, but by the time she arrived, he realized that he had just forgotten what his bike looked like and that it hadn't been stolen after all. What the hell? Is this a new bike? Is this his first day on the bike? What? I got a lot of questions. A week later, his bike actually was stolen. He has a bike lock, he just didn't think it was necessary. His biological dad bought him a new bike to replace the stolen one. He's blown out the rear wheel 3 times, broken the seat twice, the chain twice, and completely smashed the rim of the rear wheel just since the middle of May. Well, sounds like that boy likes adventures. Too bad it costs a pretty penny to foot the bill for his adventures. Since his second bike is now in shambles, he asked Bob and Ann if he could borrow their bikes. Bob said, hell no, but Ann said, sure. Kevin managed to snap the rear axle and somehow broke the rear cassette. This can't be from regular use. What is this dude, extreme mountain biking in his free time or something? Jesus. I gotta say, I'm almost envious of Kevin. as his life is never dull. All we can do is enjoy his Kevinness by proxy. And I also thank my lucky stars that he is not my fucking kid. He borrowed the magnets from half a dozen coral frag racks that we sell and just promptly forgot where he left them. They're useless without the magnets, so we had to order more. Jesus, he should be footing the bill for that. You gotta hold him responsible for destroying merchandise. He found one of Bob's power drills and drilled a bunch of holes in a support beam for the porch. He dumped an entire 12-ounce can of fish food into one of the tanks. This was at the end of the day, and we didn't notice it until the morning. The entire shop smelled like roadkill. He's not even allowed into the store anymore. Were there fish in there? God, they had to all be dead, right? That's why it smells like roadkill? He just murdered those fish. Although he was trying to be helpful, but goddamn. He got a job as a dishwasher at a nearby restaurant and was told not to come back after a week because he had broken so many dishes. He shot himself in the leg with a pellet rifle because
he wanted to know what it felt like to get shot.
Because
that's what thugs do.
God, it's just an extra layer of cringe. The cherry on the cringe sundae. That's what thugs do. 16 years old living with your mom. But I'm sure we're all very grateful that he was fine. He broke a plastic lawn chair and decided to burn it to destroy the evidence. He got found out when the fire pit began belching acrid black smoke everywhere. And even if people didn't notice the smoke, like, you're just gonna have a lawn chair frisbee at the bottom of the fire pit. Oh, I don't understand why you need to hide that anyways. Lawn chairs break. It's kind of like half of what they do. He went to a week-long youth group retreat a few hours away and forgot to pack any clean clothes. Anne had to drive all the way there with clothes for him. According to Anne, she had packed clothes for him, but he just left them all behind because
he didn't think he'd need them.
I gotta like halfway point the finger at the parents, like, you're babying the shit out of this kid, right? There's a reason he is the way that he is. You gotta let him make his own mistakes. All right, you forgot your clothes? Wear the same clothes for a week. Maybe you'll remember next time. He tried to shotgun a can of soda because that's what thugs do. He managed to spray himself in the face. He tried the same thing again the next day with the same results. Oh, Kevin. Bob bought a 150-gallon preformed above-ground pond to keep goldfish in during the warmer months. Kevin sat on the side and broke it. Oh, you know, that cost a pretty penny. This boy's racking up a bill for himself. Kevin was bragging to his classmates
that he had stolen drugs from his biological dad during a visit and that he would share them after school that day.
A teacher overheard. He got in all sorts of trouble and had the drugs confiscated. Turns out they were fish oil capsules. My DHA is gonna be so high, bro. In the last post, I mentioned how he'd been buying cheap cell phones and unsuccessfully hiding them, despite being grounded from technology for failing all of his classes. His parents finally broke down and bought him a very basic flip phone that he could use for calling purposes only, and he sold it at a pawn shop. I'll give you about $350. He refuses, absolutely refuses to brush his nasty teeth. His parents bought him an electric toothbrush, thinking that he might like it better than a manual one, and he lost it. See what I mean? They're babying the shit out of him. Just wild. Kevin got banned from a local comic book shop for spilling Mountain Dew everywhere. Because of course it was Mountain Dew. He decided he was going to cook a pork chop on the stove. He forgot about it and nearly caught the house on fire. Pork chop sandwiches! Bob had cooked the pork chops the night before, and apparently Kevin thought that once the meat gets cold, it somehow reverts back to being raw and needs to be cooked again. Lately, he's been reading all kinds of survival books. He claims that
he wants to spend a year roughing it in the Canadian wilderness.
That was the last we ever saw of Kevin. I'm fairly certain that this kid couldn't even find Canada on a map. He's absolutely convinced that standing in front of a microwave while it's running will sterilize you. That might be for the best, honestly. He goes as far as to retreat to the next room while he is nuking his food. What a specimen. His parents bought a truck a few states away. They decided to take a long weekend to go pick it up, leaving myself and Matt, a coworker, to handle the store in that time. No problem, right? Except that they left Kevin at home as well, with a rather long list of explicitly articulated do's and do-nots that he was expected to follow. They would have had better luck convincing a whale to spontaneously evolve into an elephant. He tried to use his parental reprieve to do everything that he wanted to do without consequences. God. He tried to get into the store's cash drawer, because that's what real gangsters do. I had the key with me at all times, and he even told me that
Bob was okay with him taking cash out of the drawer once in a while.
He isn't, obviously. We're running a fucking business here, or trying to. It's almost a legitimate business, except for one little idiot running around. He had a fire roaring in the grill, a shop vac blowing air into the coals, and he was trying to melt a metal rod in the heat while using winter gloves to insulate himself. He claimed he was blacksmithing again. I promptly shut it down before he caught the house or himself on fire. I went to the store's garage to look for something. Well, Kevin was there and loudly announced,
"I'm not doing anything."
I had not asked, and I still have no idea what he was up to. Nothing good. Kevin announced to Matt and I that he was having friends over that night
to smoke weed and take pills and whatnot. Because that's what gangsters do.
Okay. It's not even funny anymore. God damn. But it still manages to maintain the same levels of cringe. A scientific anomaly. I said, not a chance. I called Bob, and he said, abso-fucking-lutely not. I told Kevin, and he said,
his parents didn't have to know.
He tried to bribe me with a few grams of weed. I turned him down. A few grams of weed to lose my job. Yeah, no thanks. Matt stayed the night over at the house, more to keep an eye on Kevin than anything else. Kevin invited his friends over anyways. They filled the house with weed smoke and threatened Matt when he confronted them. Matt called me and then called Bob. Bob called the next door neighbor, who came over and stormed into Kevin's room, scaring the shit out of Kevin and his buddies. He then tried to bribe Matt with a few grams of weed as well. Matt also turned him down. Kevin and his buddies then tried to hide in the garage after the neighbor left. Matt found them when one of them knocked over a small aquarium and broke it, and they ran out through the back door. God, fuck, I'm so nervous to have my kids turn into teenagers. I know shit like this is gonna happen. You think I don't have anything nice now, just wait for it. Bob and Ann skipped half the plans they had and came home early. Needless to say, Kevin is in a world of trouble, as he fucking should be. So maybe it's not the parents' fault. They seem to discipline the kid. Maybe the boy just ain't right. He also got them hormones raging, and God, that does not help. Edit to improve formatting a bit. Edit again. A quick update on his shenanigans over the last couple of weeks. He got a job at Dairy Queen and got fired after a week for not maintaining a professional demeanor. That's retail speak for he can't keep his fucking mouth shut around the customers. His bike got stolen again. He failed to lock it up while at work again. He's now on bike number 3 this year, and he's already damaged the rear rim twice and bent a part of the frame. I still have no idea how one person can be so hard on a bike. He sliced his finger open because he tried to touch the non-serrated side of a bandsaw blade while it was running. Well, you can sort of see the logic there, but goddamn, you thought about that for a second longer, you probably wouldn't have done it. His reasoning was that he didn't think it would hurt because that side of the blade isn't sharp. Yeah, but it's spinning real fucking fast, son. Jesus. Edit 3. Whoa, it keeps coming. Kevin is still Kevining it up. Here are the highlights since the last update. He's working at Taco Bell now. How does he keep getting hired? Are people not like calling references and being like, oh, this kid's a fucking horrible employee? He got written up because he was purposely making orders wrong. He was leaving off the tomatoes because he doesn't like tomatoes. And he just assumed that nobody else liked them either. He lost his cell phone. According to Bob, this is the 13th, yes, 13th phone that Kevin has lost this year. God bless Bob, man. Kevin's mom's pussy must be like banging. I would be out so quick. Like, this is your kid? Yeah, I don't know if I could deal with that. See ya. He got busted for trying to buy cigarettes at a convenience store. He's 2 years too young to buy them legally. The manager of the store knows Bob and Ann, so he called them to let them know. Kevin got in trouble. He's tried to buy cigarettes from the same store 2 more times since then, with similar results. Well, that's just what gangsters do. Smoking with cigarettes. It's fun to do bad things. There's so many references while I'm reading this shit. I don't know why it gets me so good. Autumn hits us like Brannigan's Law, and all the leaves fell at once. Kevin was supposed to mow them into the lawn. How's that work? But he put it off for a week, and an early snowstorm dumped 16 inches on us. It soon melted, the leaves remained, and were now soaked. And Kevin was told that he had to rake them now, rather than mow them. Well, guess what he tried to do? Tried to mow them anyways. Clogged the mower, and then tried to hide the mower and told Bob that he couldn't find the rake. Oh, what an idiot. World's dumbest criminals. Speaking of mowers, earlier in the year when he was supposed to mow the yard, he decided that he'd rather not. Bob and I watched him open a bottle of water, pour it into the mower's gas tank, and then try to start it up. Jesus Christ. After a minute of trying and failing to start the thing, he came in and told Bob,
"Oh, darn, the mower won't start. I guess I can't mow today after all."
Bob was not amused. Kind of makes you long for the days of corporal punishment, doesn't it? That's a joke. Don't beat your kids. But do implement harsh, swift consequences. Kid's gonna be paying off the bill for everything that he ruined until he's fucking 30. Edit 4. Last update here before this post gets archived. Kevin is currently taking driver's ed, one of those do-it-at-home internet classes. He's required to have so many hours of class time, and he's discovered that if he starts the lesson and lets it play while he does anything else, it counts as class time. Shockingly, he's failed the tests at the end thrice now. Anne planned to take him to get his permit this week, and after he got a whopping 12% on his final test, she decided that it may not be the best idea. He's also announced to me that he's been learning all about our government, so that once he turned 18, he wanted to run for office. May the gods have mercy on our souls. I mean, to be fair, running for office, that's what the really realest of the gangsters do, isn't it? Holy shit, man. Unfortunately, it does look like that is the last update that we've got. I'd really like to hear more about Kevin and what he gets up to when he's out of the house. Can you imagine this dude like trying to live on his own? or running for office for that matter. Jesus Christ. You got fired from a Taco Bell, bro. Then again, maybe that's about the level that they expect for politicians. You couldn't make it doing anything else? Okay, fine. Reminds me of that clip I saw many years ago about Rob Blagojevich admitting that he didn't even know how to send a fucking email. I think our entire political system is mostly made up of Kevin, so maybe he'll fit right in. He just needs to line his pockets with a little bit more of Bob's fish tank money. He could go grassroots and canvass the neighborhood. God, what an absolutely horrifying thought. How about we concentrate on, getting a driver's license first, and we'll move on from there.
The Bible says that birds are of the devil.
My friend tries to divorce Kevin. Oh no, Kevin, he's gonna be left all alone. Surely he's going to light the house on fire. I expect this Kevin to be dead within the month without somebody like looking out for him or something. Oh, it's a sad story. Maybe. Might be hilarious. I don't know. I don't really vet these things. Kevins are apparently dum-dums, like Kevin from The Office. Kevin's famous chili, and he spills it all over the floor. God, that's the best fucking scene from The Office ever.
I'm serious about this stuff.
When we were all younger and dumber, one of my closest friends married the craziest Kevin that I have ever met. I mean, there must have been some attraction, at least initially, if she put a ring on it, actually got married to him. There was something there. Maybe he transformed into a Kevin later. My friend had just come off of a very bad relationship that she'd been certain was going to end in marriage, when in reality, that dude was cheating on her, while using her to support his wannabe pro-golfer existence. And then dumped her when someone with more money came along. So she was in a bad place. A few months later, Kevin appears. Well, it sounds like your friend is just having some trouble picking dudes. It's like a whole string of losers. She's ready to hop into a marriage with the pro golfer guy. And then he bails and she's like, Kevin, you're next in line. Come over here. It's not all her problem, but I don't know, man. At least vet people a little bit more before you go and freaking get married. That's wild. The first time I met Kevin was when the two of them showed up at my apartment to announce their engagement. See? Quick, you're moving too fast. Since I'd met the previous guy that she was seriously dating just a month before, I knew they couldn't have been seeing each other very long. Turns out, Kevin proposed 5 weeks after their first date. Red flag, anyone? No? How did you say yes to this? Like, bitch, I known you just over a month. I'm good. I don't want a part of any of that. Maybe she was a bit of a Kevina for saying yes at that point, but like I said, bad place. Oh, God. I don't know. Is that excusable? I really don't think that it is. I understand that she's like on the rebound, she's been hurt in this relationship. She wants somebody to come in and fill the gap, essentially. Giggity. But this is not the way to go about it. 5 weeks? You guys realize you don't have to get married, right? Just because he proposed doesn't mean you have to say yes, right? I don't understand at all. Why would you say yes? Jesus Christ. Relationship pinball. That is what it is. It's hard for me to accurately describe Kevin without dipping into being mean. Go ahead, be mean. I like that. Because I never liked him, even from that first meeting. It was like he really wanted to be one of those hyper-masculine, manly men, but didn't quite know how. That's adorable. He liked to take any opportunity to bring up in conversation that
He was a black belt.
whoa, watch out for this guy. He paid for a a black belt at a McDojo. I remember the first time he said it because I asked, "Oh yeah? In what?" And he looked at me like I was an idiot.
In martial arts.
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, that's too funny, dude. It was a McDojo for sure. Or he just doesn't know what martial arts he was taking. Oh, yeah, right. Of course. He would talk at length about how much he worked out. Turns out he didn't actually work out at all. I mean, come on, dude. You ain't gotta lie to kick it. I told people when I was going to the gym because I was proud of it. Also told people when I stopped going to the gym because I don't really care that much about being judged. I still haven't gone back to the gym, all right? It's been 6 months. Now I'm scared to go back because it's gonna hurt. But don't you worry, I'll get back in there eventually. If for no other reason than to just avoid being like Kevin ever in life. Good God. That's a dumb thing to lie about too. Can't I like look at your arms and shit and be like, it doesn't really look like you work out that much, friend. But he'd deny it. He'd be like, oh yeah, today was just leg day. 5 days in a row. He liked to think of himself as a car guy because he had a sports car, which he couldn't afford, and he treated it like his baby. He didn't actually know anything about cars, but he had one, so car guy. What was the sports car? It's probably a trashy sports car, not even a real performance engine in it. Obviously, I don't know anything about cars either. But at least I don't flex, alright? I drive a little hatchback, my little putt-putt car, to get me around town. I don't understand why masculinity hinges on, like, cars and being a big, strong guy. Can't my masculinity hinge on being a good father and a nice person? Uh-oh, I said nice. We did nice guys yesterday. It's seeping into me. Somebody help! But the thing that really got up my nose about this guy was that he prided himself
On how very smart he was.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. He'd make the most outrageous claims with the most pig-headed certainty. He just knew these things were true. And if you disagreed, even if you showed actual physical proof that he was wrong, he would just condescendingly tell you that
You didn't understand these things like he did.
and go on with his idiocy. Was this before the times of Google? I mean, I've seen people deny Google as well. They're like, it's just a conspiracy. But it was a lot harder before Google. A lot more people could get away with a lot more bullshit. You know what I'm saying? A time frame would help a whole heck of a lot, but I guess it be what it be. Just as an example, Kevin once declared that you can't break the law at night. It's like the fucking purge out here or something. Well, that's just wonderful, isn't it? Can you imagine what it would be like if you couldn't break the law at night? I literally wouldn't go out at night. That would be like the most terrifying prospect in the world to me. Somebody shoots you and the cops show up. They're like, yeah, we know you shot him. We saw it, but it's night, so you're free to go. What exactly was that supposed to mean? We still have no idea. And Kevin refused to elaborate. Yeah, he's earning the Kevin title for sure. As a second example, he had trouble getting a fire going in their fireplace when he was home alone one day. Oh, look at that. Big manly man doesn't know how to handle fire. Really making a fire could not be easier. You put a log in there, you light the ends on fire. If it's one of those like store-bought logs, which is really all I use because I don't care about being a manly man. He's probably using wood that he chopped down himself, or claimed to chop down himself rather. Nobody's buying that. So what was his solution? To mix up some homemade napalm. From a recipe he found on the internet. What was that? Styrofoam melted in gasoline? There you go. And this dude is using napalm in his own home. Good God. Like I said, it's a miracle he's not dead yet. It was a huge disaster. Set the kitchen on fire. Luckily, my friend arrived home in time to grab the fire extinguisher. Yet he insisted doggedly that he knew what he was doing. And really, this was the best way to get the fireplace going. And obviously, she just didn't understand because she didn't know as much about this stuff as he did. Yeah, you're gonna get the fireplace and the rest of the house going. Homemade napalm, dude. What is this? How did you think that this was a good idea? Total Kevin, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if 2 months after the divorce, he lit himself on fire in some type of way. This is the best way to get the fireplace going. Bro. What an idiot. Sorry, I know that that's a lot of setting the stage. No, please keep going. It's delicious. It's ambrosia to me, OP. One last important thing to know about Kevin, before we get round to the divorce I promised, is that Kevin was a religious nut. Oh boy, here we go. God told me to light my house on fire. I don't mean he was crazy because he was religious. I've known many wonderful, intelligent, religious people in my lifetime. Kevin was a crazy person who used religion as his MO. Well, I think the wonderful, intelligent people are somewhat dwarfed by people who are just using this as leverage to get up on somebody else, but I guess that's a tangent for another day. I don't really want to go into that in the video. Gonna polarize everybody. Kevin would randomly proclaim, "The Bible says," to support whatever crazy thing that he had said. Yeah, the Bible said, start a fire with napalm in the middle of your kitchen. It'll get to the fireplace eventually. Oh my God. Most people let him get away with it because, hell, the Bible's really long and it does say a lot of crazy shit. Who could say that somewhere in there it didn't actually say whatever insane thing he was claiming? I mean, ask him what book, verse, etc. if you really don't believe him. As soon as he starts stumbling around, be like, yeah, you're full of shit. Besides, who really wants to confront crazy? That's a fair point too, OP. I probably wouldn't. Pick your battles in that. This is not one worth having. Even when the claim was something insane, like, the Bible says that birds are of the devil. Yeah, he saw Alfred Hitchcock's movie a few times. The Birds, and he's like, oh no, they're gonna peck my eyes out. Away from me, Satan! God, I miss stories about Kevin, you guys. This is so beautiful. And yeah, the bird thing is a thing that Kevin said one day when he was angry at birds for some reason. Angry at birds. Birds are minding their own business, bro. Why are you gonna be angry at birds? Like, okay, sometimes they shit on my car, but I get it, man. Where else you gonna go poop, right? They don't know what they doing. They got a brain that's like this big. I was raised going to church twice a week, once upon a time, so I did know a bit about that particular book, and I had a pathological need when I was younger to call people out on their bullshit. Yeah, so did I. And then I realized that that's just a big waste of energy, but go off, I guess. So we often butted heads, Kevin and I. Unsurprisingly, when confronted, Kevin could never actually tell you where in the Bible it said that you shouldn't take the first slice of pizza. Because yeah, he said that too, but that didn't decrease his certainty that it definitely was in there. You think the Bible talked about pizza? I don't think the Bible talks about food very much at all. Holy pizza, it is the food of the gods. I gotta be honest with myself there. That's why everybody loves it so much, right? God understands if you want to take the first slice. Everybody wants to take the first slice. Just get that shit in my mouth ASAP. So, as anyone but the two of them could have predicted, the marriage didn't last. You probably should have told your friend, OP. She probably did, and the friend is just like, you don't know anything about our relationship. He's different. He's special. Yeah, all right. Got it. Good Lord. He became increasingly erratic, forbidding her from speaking to friends, including me, because the Bible says so. Oh my God, this has gone from like Kevin to abusive relationship in no time flat. He's just insecure about her hanging out with friends because he thinks that like she should belong to him only. A woman is not made to be your property. Men and women are equals. Women stand to the side of men, not in front of, not behind. Okay? That is what the Bible says. I probably would have argued this out with him too. Jesus Christ. He started hitting her because the Bible says she has to do whatever he says, and that he's allowed to beat her if she doesn't. Stuff like that. I called this one abusive relationship in no time flat. Holy shit, man. No wonder she got a divorce. I mean, there were red flags in the beginning, but who knew that it would get this bad? Jesus. So yes, she left. Good for her. And here is where the wackiest Kevining begins. I love wacky. So she gets a lawyer to initiate divorce proceedings, and the first thing that comes up is the house. They bought the house from his parents. More precisely, she bought the house from his parents, and he had terrible credit. Oh boy. As a result, his name wasn't on anything related to the house. He had no job, meaning that he'd never made even a single payment on the house. Open and shut. As far as she saw it, the house was hers. His mother, who came into town to support her son through his misfortune, didn't see it that way. They declared that the house still belonged to the mother and threw all of my friend's stuff out on the lawn. See, this is the reason Kevin is the way that he is. Mommy just coddling her little prince. Oh, we need to keep him safe. It's a bunch of bullshit, I'll tell you that much. Do not coddle your children. You need to tell them how it is, because the real world is going to tell them how it is. So maybe you could soften the blow a little bit, but you also got to be honest. Kevin's mom out here fighting his battles for him. Ugh, baddest look I've ever seen. What a mommy's boy. What a little baby man. Take the L and walk away. You know you didn't make those payments just because of who she bought it from. You're supposed to have like one finger still in the pie. Nah, that's not how it works. And I'm sure a court will say as much. Friend's lawyer gets a preliminary hearing date set up. Oh, this lawyer, yeah, they doing work to determine the initial dispersion of important stuff, like the house, at least until the divorce proceedings get all sorted. So, friend's lawyer says to Kevin, have your lawyer contact me to set up a meeting before the hearing. A meeting is set up, and who arrives at the lawyer's office but Kevin?
I'm so intelligent, I'm gonna represent myself.
Any lawyer who represents himself has a fool for a client, but I guess I shouldn't expect anything less from Kevin. Damn, dude. This is gonna be a whole ass mess. He is gonna get taken to school, and I am living for it. Kevin was claiming to be
Mr. Steele, the lawyer.
Oh my god, dude. You can't make that up. I shit you not. He decided to be his own lawyer and that he would call himself Mr. Steele, which is not his name. God. I'm dead, bro. Jesus Christ. Oh. How is this even real? All right, breathe deep. I don't know how the initial meeting went, but when the time for the hearing came, Kevin was once again acting as his own attorney. This time I can only assume he wasn't working under a pseudonym. Keep in mind the rest of this is totally going off of her story to me immediately after the hearing. This is so weird. I can't believe you were married to this person. Does this not make you rethink like everything about your life? Kevin and his mother, oh of course, arrived 20 minutes late, not at all dressed for court, casual jeans and t-shirts. The first thing Kevin says when he walks in is,
can I approach the bench?
May I approach the bitch?
What did you say?
I said, may I approach the bench?
Dude's seen a couple episodes of Law and Order and he's like, don't worry, I got this. The judge asks, why?
Because I've got some receipts.
Watch him hand her just like a receipt from the grocery store or something.
I paid for the food in the house, therefore the house is mine.
Kevin logic, bro. So, friend gets called to the stand. Her lawyer asks a bunch of questions, illustrating just how crazy Kevin is and how bad things had gotten and about the house and stuff. And then Kevin, since he's the lawyer, gets to cross-examine. Illustrating just how crazy Kevin is. Can't you just point to him standing over there? Be like, what is your actual last name, Kevin? It's not Mr. Steele, is it?
He's like, no, it's not.
Okay, fine. Good, great. We're winning. Jesus Christ. This is unadulterated, pure distilled cringe. Do you think that he got to her on cross-examination? I bet he did. Watch him just be like a super good lawyer out of nowhere. But it's kind of already been established that he's going to fail horribly. So let's watch. His first question.
Is it not true that you were beaten as a child?
Her lawyer.
Objection.
The judge. Sustained. The question had nothing to do with anything. Were you beaten as a child? Oh my god, dude. Other questions included,
is it not true that you were seeing a psychiatrist and on medication for depression?
No, that's not true. She had never seen a mental health professional. Not sure if he thought he might like trick her into lying on that one, or if he was so crazy that he actually thought that that might be true. He asked a bunch of other ridiculous questions, which her lawyer let him ask, because they were completely out of nowhere and only helped prove to the judge how nuts he was. Yeah, judges see it for what it is most of the time. This dude walks into the courtroom with a fake name, in jeans and a t-shirt, pretending to be his own lawyer. You lost already. Before anybody's asked a question, before anybody gets on the stand, it's over.
Objection! On the grounds that the Bible says I'm right.
Oh God, well, I don't want to go look at the Bible. He must be right. Can we Google it? We're not allowed to do that during a court case? Okay, got it. I guess we just have to go off of what he says. It's just too wild. And then Kevin takes the stand. Oh, goody gumdrops. Her lawyer gets him to admit pretty much everything that they said he did because it was all true. He does refuse to give specific answers to some of the more serious questions. Not no, he just doesn't want to give specifics. I plead the fifth. There are so many amendments in the Constitution.
I said there are so many amendments in the Constitution.
Then he gets to make a statement. His statement is how
He doesn't want a divorce. And also, she was abusive to him.
such as pinching him once when they were on the highway. Pinching? Is that how he said it? What is that? Pinche? Is he speaking Spanish? You can't say that in the court of law, all right? I have a lot of questions, man. Okay. We're moving on.
Also, the Bible says that she's his wife, so she has to do whatever he wants. And the Bible also says that divorce is bad.
I don't think the Bible has anything about divorce in it. Does it say that you're supposed to like make a commitment to each other, etc., etc., for better, for worse, for sickness and in health? But I don't think it spells out like the terms of when abuse is okay and such. I ain't no biblical theologian scholar guy. Maybe the comments could enlighten me a little bit more about it, but I'm pretty sure he's just pulling a bunch of stuff out of his ass, throwing it at the wall to see what sticks, you know?
How can the judge make him get a divorce when the Bible says not to?
Apparently he went on in this vein for quite a while. She just gave me a couple of the highlights. Damn, dude. This is something else. I don't get it. I don't think I want to get it. He really thought that this was going to be the clincher. Why would you not hire a lawyer? If it's really important that you get the house back and such, a high-powered lawyer might have been able to do that for you. But Kevin, you're not a high-powered lawyer, even if you're calling yourself Mr. Steele, okay? We've had a lot of delusional beards on the channel recently. Needless to say, the initial hearing did not go his way. Oh God, who could have imagined that? How is Mr. Steele a bad lawyer? His name is Mr. Steele, for God's sake. Although he spelled it S-T-E-E-L-E, like the fancy way, instead of the way that he probably thought it was spelled, S-T-E-A-L, because he wanted to steal everything from her, get it? She ended up getting the house in the short term, and a protective order against him after he admitted in court to his violence against her.
The Bible says it's okay, though.
Oh my God, dude. This guy, thank God he is so stupid. He's not smart enough to lie, and for that, we can all be grateful. After this, he dragged his feet at every point of the process for more than 6 months. He wouldn't show up to things or would refuse to sign things until the last possible moment. He moved to a different city and apparently joined the Army Reserve. When Friend found out about this, her lawyer contacted someone there to point out that he wasn't allowed to be around weapons or something like that because of the protective order. It's all legal stuff that's kind of over my head. The lawyer even contacted him and offered to drop the protective order so he could stay in if he would just agree to finish the divorce proceedings in a timely manner. Kevin refused. He's really trying so hard to stick it to her in any way possible. In the end, he got pretty much nothing and quietly disappeared. Oh, I'm grateful for that part at the very least. Finally, he is out of her life. So I'm still of the opinion that Kevin probably did end up burning his house down with him inside only a few months after the divorce. You heard pretty much nothing and he quietly disappeared because he was turned into carbon-based smoke and just went up into the atmosphere. To be with God, whom he loved so very much. God, I was like enjoying the story. I was like, oh, kind of a harmless idiot sort of Kevin, but no, this is one of the more malicious Kevins that we've seen on the channel, and I think that's good because then we can like start our catalog of the Kevins as well. You've got derpy neckbeards, you've got dangerous neckbeards. Well, you've also got derpy Kevins and dangerous Kevins. This dude so dumb that he felt entitled to beat his own wife because maybe it said something like that somewhere in the Bible. That's unforgivable. Jesus Christ, man. How are you that dumb? That's the main question that I have. But despite the darker nature of the episode, I do hope that you guys enjoyed it, friends. If you did, I hope that you'll like, comment, and or subscribe, because that's like the super big MVP play and stuff. You can maybe share the video around. I would appreciate that a whole heck of a lot as well. We've got all kinds of links down in the description for you to click around on. Plugs, playlists, podcasts, I mentioned at the beginning, but yeah, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you go. Podcast Addict, Deezer, Castbox, all this weird shit I never heard of. But yeah, my podcasts are on there, apparently. So thank you guys, as always. Come on through. Check out my social medias, Twitter, Discord, Facebook, Twitch, where we live streamed this episode. Oh my God, it's so hyped when you get it live. That is the freshest cringe. We've also got my Patreon, of course, and my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this journey back through Stories About Kevin. I really enjoyed it. We're going to be back sooner rather than later. Thank you again for watching. I hope you sign up on Patreon. If you can't afford to do it, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you'll come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there, wash your hands, but also take some time out. Do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe like watching some more ReddX videos. That'd be cool. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one, and until then, friends, bye-bye.
Thank you for calling ReddX Industries. Your call is very important to us. Please hold on the line while we decontaminate the lab.